The Pluto anime is going to slap, and here's why. It's by Naoki Urasawa. End of the video. Subscribe. Okay, to explain a bit more for those who are not aware, Pluto is a retelling of one of Astro Boy's best arcs titled The Greatest Robot on Earth. However, there is little to no actual information you need on Astro Boy to enjoy this show. I mean, I myself have never even watched an episode of Astro Boy, yet by the end I absolutely loved this series. As mentioned in the start, Pluto is by Naoki Urasawa, one of the all-time GOATs in the manga industry. Not only has he made one banger of a work, or two, he has made three, and I have yet to even read Billy Bat, which I'm sure will be another certified classic. Now, unlike Urasawa's other works, Pluto is very short. I mean, the anime is only going to be 8 episodes, albeit 1 hour each, which makes it closer to about 24 episodes, but still, that is pretty damn short compared to 74 episodes. And I do think that will be to the anime's benefit. If you have read or experienced any of Urasawa's works, you know that everything matters. What may seem inconsequential one moment can be an important puzzle piece in the story's main mystery. But with how long his works are, it can be really hard to remember all these details. This is where Pluto has the advantage. The mysteries in Pluto are much smaller in comparison, and due to its length, it's unlikely you will forget major plot points. As much as I love Urasawa's work, I do think it is hard to get used to his style at first. For example, I love one of his other works called Monster, but I actually stopped watching the anime at around episode 40. Not because I stopped enjoying it, but mostly because, to a certain degree, it can feel exhausting to experience with how unique its format is. I don't know, it's really hard to put into words why I stopped it. Obviously though, I'm not the only one who shares this sentiment. I have a couple of friends who also dropped the show, and there's also some people on the internet who you might know that also mentioned that they dropped the show.
It's one of those animes that like I dropped and then came back to, and that I was so glad that I picked back up because it's really fucking slow in the start.
Yeah. It is really slow, but I feel like Monster is a rarity of an anime where it's an anime that has an amazing manga that could have easily be sliced up and have a shitty adaptation. But Monster is one of the few epic, like, masterpiece manga that got a masterpiece adaptation.
But I have a feeling that for many people who have never experienced an Urasawa work before, Pluto is the perfect starting point. And for those who have experienced another Urasawa work, you are in for a ride. The idea of robots has been explored so many times in different forms of media, but Pluto's depiction is certainly one of the more fascinating ones. To give a bit of context, the story takes place in a world where robots essentially have the same rights as humans. Other stories would usually center themselves around the idea of robots fighting humans, but in Pluto, this battle has already occurred, and robots have finally managed to coexist with humans. However, there is one exception to this idea of equality between both beings. Robots are still not permitted to kill another human being, not even if it's for self-defense or saving the life of another. And this very important thing here is the main way the story explores its central themes. One of the most important ones being what happens when robots start to become like humans. A theme that, let's be honest, almost every Robot Central work explores. But I do believe Pluto's take is a very interesting one that many people will enjoy. Speaking of enjoyment, the characters here are all awesome. I feel like talking about any character besides our main character would be reaching into spoiler territory, and I don't really want to do that here since I'm more so promoting the anime that's about to come out, so the main characters should be more than enough to get my point across. Geshet is a very interesting protagonist, not only because he is one of the most complex robots in the series, but also because this is one of the first times where Urasawa shrouds his protagonist in as much mystery as he does the antagonist. It's par for the course that Urasawa loves writing villains who we either have no idea who they are or what their main motivations are, and Pluto sort of does both, which makes it pretty interesting. But not only is the villain surrounded in a lot of mystery, but so is our protagonist. I can't really get into it, but the main reason Geshet is so interesting is because there's an aspect of him that not only we don't know, but neither does he. And it is a very interesting mystery that is established very early on. And aside from Geshet, we have Adam, or as most would know him, Astro Boy. Like I've said, I've never watched any form of Astro Boy, but from a pure first impression standpoint, Adam is a great addition. I do believe many will prefer Geshet in the end, but Adam plays a very important role as well, and he's the perfect foil to Geshet in ways that become more obvious the further you progress in the show. The point is, this show is going to slap. From the story to the characters, there's something here for everyone. If you're a longtime Urasawa fan, this work will live up to your expectations and more. If you have never experienced an Urasawa work before, then you are in for a treat. And I'm just hoping that this will be popular enough for studios to consider doing a 20th Century Boys anime. Like, no joke, if that shit gets made into an anime, it will easily be anime of the decade by far. But until then, be sure to check out Pluto on Netflix coming October 26th. Thanks for watching, guys.